All right, so this is where we're at with the canvas project that I am going to try to work on to hang up in our guest bedroom. I started off, you can kind of see the pink circle here and then that bean shape up there. I started off trying to do like the abstract shapes and was not liking the look of that, so I decided to just do like full canvas cover, one side one color, one side the other. I'm using, this is the Acrology from Rich Art. This is at the Dollar Tree. This is the deep green color, and then the pink is Honey Rose is what I'm using. What I'm finding so far is that this paint it's pretty thin. It goes on like it looks thick, but the coverage is pretty thin. You can kind of see here. This is one coat. This is 3 coats in here. The other issue I'm finding is that when I put the wet paint down onto what was dry, if I leave it sit there too long, it actually re-wets the paint underneath, and then when I go to try to spread the paint out, then I start exposing the canvas again. So for right now, I'm just going to let this all dry really, really good. And then I'm going to come back and probably just put a ton of paint on here and try to spread it out and see if I can get better coverage, because I do want a nice rich deep green on this side and then a rich pink on that side. So we shall see. But for right now, I'm going to let this dry and I'm going to go work on
So I ended up using
these foam brushes that I just picked up from Dollar General. I actually got these in the car care section. If you look in the crafters area, they do have some of these, but they're about twice the price. If you go in the car care section, you get more of these for about equal or lesser value. So what I did was just kind of squirt some paint on here and then use these foam brushes to spread it out. So it's much thicker on the canvas now, so you can tell, like, you can't really see the original designs that I had on here. So I'm going to let this dry. I may end up doing another coat, but we'll see. I also did around the edges because I'm not going to frame this. I'm going to leave it as is and hang it this way. So I wanted to make sure that the edges were done as well, but I'll probably need to do a little bit of touch up with the paint before I actually get into the
Okay, so I've got an update here on my canvas. So I ended up having to do 2 pretty thick coats of each color paint, the pink and the green, on here. And so I got that done. And then I was trying to figure out how I could actually get the image onto the canvas. And rather than draw some pencil marks, and since I knew I was going to need to do the pinholes to do the embroidery, what I did was actually to put the image on the back side. So I was able to sketch it freehand and kind of make changes and adjustments and things so that it would be the correct size and kind of fill the canvas appropriately. And then I went through and made the pinholes from that side, which transposed my image to the front. So it is reversed now, so the basket is on the pink side to the left versus on the right, but I wanted the basket on the pink. I wanted it here. So now what I'll be doing is on the portion that has the green, I'm going to be using the pink thread for that section of the bike. For the section of the bike that's on the pink side, I'm actually going to use green thread, and then I'm going to use like the colors that match the flowers and the basket up here, like brown, maybe some different colors for the different flowers and things up there. So that way this will kind of stand out a little bit more colorful, and then this will be a little bit more update on the progress of the canvas embroidery. I worked on it quite a bit today, and I have a full bicycle now and a basket, and 2 of my flowers are done. So just so you can kind of gain some perspective, This is the full image, and so right up here all the rest of the flowers and then some of the detail on these two flowers is all I have left. But I mean, this isn't a professional level, you know, seamstress job. I am just barely adequate, I feel like, in my sewing skills, so don't criticize that too much. I'm just genuinely impressed at how nice this is looking.
Late on an update on this, but this is the final product. So I originally was just planning on doing the outline on those flowers, but I wanted them to kind of stand out versus the color contrast of the pink and the green, the pink thread and the green thread on the various colors. That is actually pink, by the way. So I did end up filling in those flowers. So this is where you can kind of tell that I am not a professional seamstress by any stretch of the imagination. I don't want to zoom in too much on the stitches because it is kind of sloppy and not so great. I am pretty proud of how these little white ones came out. Those were a stitch where I came in from the back side of the canvas. I wrapped the thread around the needle a few times and then actually pushed the needle back through where I had brought it out from, and it created these cool little nubs of thread that kind of look like little flower blossoms. I was really surprised that they actually turned out really nice. So this is going to be the focal point on the gallery wall that we put in our guest bedroom. So if you are somebody who is trying out new mediums and crafts and that sort of stuff, don't be afraid to try something that you haven't done before, because you might find that you're actually a lot better at it than you thought you were. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.